Hey everyone, John again to play some Immaculate Grid. Just played grid number 278 and did the Sporkle that was recommended by Eddie, who's you'll always see in the comments. He'd recommend the Sporkle to me in on the X app. So I decided to go play it and did pretty well. Got 66 out of 70, so you can check that out. I am today going to play for my third game, just because I like wearing the shirt and showing it off. My wife got me this shirt. I think it looks nice. I'm going to play grid number 27. And just going back to April and playing the old ones. I haven't played this grid before, so I'm trying to just do them all and do them all for you, the people. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. We'll do both timed and rarity. See, there it is. That's how I know I'm on 27. And away well, here, let's do this. Away we go. There we go. All right. Uh, Man, already struggling. All right. Let's see. Catfish Hunters in the Hall of Fame. And Canseco is a Hall of Famer. Bellinger is an MVP. To really make sure I don't mess this up. Let's see. Frank Thomas is an MVP. Let's see, Hall of Famers would include, well, would include Frank Thomas. Also include, actually, let's see how he does. Set Tom Seaver. Nice. Let's see, Hall of Fame for the Dodgers. How about Mike Piazza? Let's get Harold Baines down here. Second time today. Eddie Murray. And Miguel Tejada. Can't believe I didn't think of that right away. I'm gonna call it exactly 1 minute. That goes right at a minute. And yeah, I think I probably hit the most obvious for some of these. Canseco for sure, Tejada for sure. Sorry, Machado was traded from the Orioles to the Dodgers. That was half of everyone's picks here. 17% for Eddie Murray. Um, Koufax, Bellinger, Frank Thomas, Albert Bell's the leader for Orioles and White Sox. Jim Thome was the leader for Orioles and White Sox on today's grid on grid number 278. Um, which, there's only 29,000 plays. I don't know how many people have gone back and played this and taken advantage of the binge play function, but I don't know. I just think that's a cool, fun thing. So you got three guys, and they're probably all around. I mean, he's at 15. I think Thome was at 18 as the leader, 17 or 18, and then here you've got Bell at 17. So interesting. Bell only played for the White Sox for a couple of years and the Orioles for a couple of years. All right, so we're gonna stop share. I'm gonna reshare. And let's just find today's grid there. Bear with me while I go back in time a little bit. And there we go. All right. So trying to come up with, so A's MVP. I think I'm going to go with Bobby Chance for that one. So he goes sub 1. Up here, I think the optimal answer is going to be Don Newcomb. Won the Cy Young, initial first ever Cy Young, along with the MVP in the same year, 1956. He gets 2%. And for a White Sox MVP, I don't actually know. I want to say Luke Appling hit 388 one year, but I'm not confident he was the MVP. So I'm gonna maybe chicken out a little bit and go with Nellie Fox, who won the 1959 MVP. He takes 6%. All right. And so now the trick is sneaking people by. So for the Hall of Fame category, at least, that's the trick here. So for the Dodgers, I think I'm going to go with Hall of Famer Paul Wainer. He goes 0.2. He mainly played for the Pirates. For the White Sox, Tom Seaver was kind of a sneaky one, but he was at 3%. Um, let's see who else? Eddie Collins played about half his career with the White Sox, I think. So that, I don't know how sneaky that is. Nellie Fox was recently, not recently, like 25 years ago, but like later than you would think for, well, he was elected by the Veterans Committee was my point. It wasn't recent. It was in the 90s. Um, but he was inducted in the Hall of Fame. Who Al Simmons will work. Al Simmons is a fun one to go with, and he certainly works here as well. Um, you have Tommy, Frank Thomas was the obvious one. Um, Jim Catt was recently inducted. He works. Um, Ron Santo did get inducted, right? Fairly recently. He played a year for the White Sox. His final season. Harold Baines does work. Actually, Harold Baines works up here too, and here. So he works in a few places, but I guess I've used him already, so I'm not gonna use him again. For this one, I'm gonna reference something I wrote about in my book. The subtitle, I think it was in the best of the rest section, but the subtitle was called "When Notorious Trades Align." And this was a trade involving Doyle Alexander, who of course was traded later in his career for John Smoltz, and Frank Robinson. Alexander had started with the Dodgers and was traded to the Orioles in exchange for Frank Robinson. So that's who I'm going to go with here. He goes 0.3. Let's see. We used Carl Reynolds on it was a different grid, but I've already used him today, so I kind of want to think of someone else. I will use Tim Raines here. He goes 0.1. Barely played for these teams. Yeah, I should come up with someone unique. For this one, what do we think of Rube Waddell? It's 0.4, super serious face there. And Eddie Walsh, maybe? Was it him or shoot, now I'm blanking on which one was the White Sox player. I've played him before from the teens, won 40 games one year. I'm actually not positive he was in the Hall of Fame, so I'm gonna hold off on that one. I think actually I'm gonna go with let's go with Appling. Let's see how popular Appling is. 2%. Okay. Over here, Aparicio would also work. He's also a pretty common one there. How about Boomer Wells? Takes 1%. Okay, so rarity score of 13. 34 options for the White Sox, 52 for the Dodgers. Making me think I probably could have. Yeah, that's right. Steve Carlton so briefly plays for the White Sox. Ed Walsh was the guy I was thinking of. I was mixing him up with another player. All right. This Charles Bender fella. Check out his career. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for tonight. Two grids and a Sporkle, 3 videos, I guess. Thanks a lot for playing, and have a good weekend. Peace.